Hello and thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the program. It's Lens on Maritime, where we'll bring to you the best of all the happenings in the maritime sector. My name is Brownson, and I'm your host. On the program this week, controversy continues to trail the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Zone. Come to our lamentation about extortion continues. And also on the program today, Dr. Boniface Aniebonam addresses the state of the nation and the maritime sector. We'll go for a very quick break. We'll be back with all the details. Don't go away.
Let's take away the stress of worrying about clearing documentation of you.
Our innovative technology provides real-time visibility of your cargo any time of the day.
Here at Maritime Agencies Nigeria Limited, we deliver your cargo fast, in good condition, at a very competitive rate anywhere in the world.
You have heard it all. At Maritime Agencies Limited, we offer the best of custom services, freight forwarding and logistics, warehousing, packaging, palletization service, consultation on import and export. Reach out to us today. Maritime Agencies Limited, 2nd floor Ofimo House, Plot 6 Oshodi Expressway, Sunrise Bus Stop, Apapa, Lagos. Or you can call us on 091-616-78740 or send us an email on maritimeagencies@gmail.com. Maritime Agencies, your one-stop shop from clearance to delivery.
Now let's give you all the details. Now the Council for Maritime Truck Union Owners and Associations have continued their cry for government intervention to end corruption and incessant extortion in the port access road. In the press conference held in Lagos, the president and other members of the associations bare their minds. The Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Associations (COMTUA) has called on the government to come to the aid of truck owners as they allege that their jobs have been hijacked by foreigners. In a press conference held in Lagos, the national president, COMTUA, Adeyinka Aroyewun, while highlighting some challenges faced by COMTUA, says its members have suffered humiliation, extortion, and intimidation from members of the Lagos State Traffic Agency, non-state actors, also known as area boys, and security personnel. Aroyewun says truck drivers pay as much as 100,000 naira forcefully to last-mile officials should their truck have flat tires on the road. He warned that if the government do not urgently move to stop these acts, most of the truck owners will go out of business.
And we want the government to come to our aid and assist us in alleviating our sufferings, especially in the areas of insecurity, loss of business to foreigners, etc. And we strongly believe when this is addressed by the government, the maritime and logistic industry will be able to add more to the revenue generation of the country.
Some truck owners who spoke to journalists shared their experiences.
At least you are going to pass through about 35 points from Amuwo to Apapa Port, and everyone is collecting 2,000 naira. And if you are not paid, if the driver refuses to pay, they will beat him, break glasses, break windscreen. They can do many things. They've even killed drivers before, because if he refuses, they will bounce on him, begin to beat him. That's what we don't want.
The Lagos State will never call on the real truckers, which will represent why they are enacting laws that to govern transportation in Lagos State. Like the issue of Abadan, it was through the effort of COMTUA that they were disbanded, because they were throwing about trucks incessantly at dead hours, using the military and the army and the street urchins to seize trucks from a moving truck, to seize truck from a driver, a moving truck. 90% of them are driven to their parts, not towed at all.
Our members not to take laws into their hand, but you know, there is a level that one can resist. I mean, that one can control some of these members, because most of them cannot even explain what is happening. the profit margin has drastically reduced, and there's nothing to show. Drivers have been beaten, vehicles have been damaged, and nothing is happening. You know, it will reach an extent that they will no longer tolerate it, and they will be forced to react, and that's what we don't pray for.
The Comtop president and members of the associations called on the government to rig the multiple extortion points of the road, as this is killing businesses.
About a month ago, Nigerian Port Authority, Lagos State Government, and the Maritime Police and the Nigerian Police all came together to say they are going to rid the road of these extortion points. Lagos State Government also promised to set up a mobile court to prosecute offenders immediately. It's over a month now. The extortion point is on the increase. The business is dying, and we are suffering. And we have been appealing to our people to be law-abiding. We don't want a situation where our members will resort to self-help, and that can lead to anything.
We are moving from Aroyewun to Apapa. At least you are going to pass through about 35 points from Aroyewun to Apapa port, and everyone is collecting 2,000 naira. And if you are not paid, if the driver refuses to pay, they will beat him, break glasses, break windscreen. They can do many things. They've even killed drivers before, because if he refuse, they will bounce on him, begin to beat him. That's what we don't want.
Due to extortion and frivolous laws being put in place by the Lagos State government, their laws are not friendly to the haulage industry, as if we are not contributing to the economy. When we understand that before you make laws that will affect your citizenry, you need to consult the stakeholders in that industry. The Lagos State will never call on the real truckers, which will represent why they are enacting laws that to govern transportation in Lagos State. Like the issue of Abadan, it was through the effort of Contour that they were disbanded, because they were throwing our trucks incessantly at dead hours, using the military and the army and the street urchins to seize trucks from a moving truck, to seize truck from a driver, a moving truck. 90% of them are driven to their parts, not towed at all. Like the first day, my truck.
Most of them cannot even explain what is happening. The profit margin has drastically reduced, and there is nothing to show. Drivers have been beaten, vehicles have been damaged, and nothing is happening. You know, it will reach an extent that they will no longer tolerate it, and they will be forced to react, and that's what we don't pray for.
I mean, it's looking at these drivers, they walk so much like elephants, and it's like an ant. And I mean, we drive Lagos roads every day. We see what these guys go through. It's really a call and a plea for the government to really come to the aid of these truck owners. I mean, from Maitu, for instance, like what one of the respondents says, Maitu to Apapa, they pay as much as 62,000, 70,000 thereabouts, and you wonder how much they charge. And if you're paying 60 going, 60 coming, that's 100 and something thousand. Question is, how much do they take home at the end of the day? So there's a plea for government to speedily come into the aid of these truck owners. Now, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement has continued to generate lots of controversy, especially how it will benefit Nigeria. Now, in this report, Nwosu, who is the president of Tinkan chapter of AFLON, tells us more. While other African countries are repositioning and taking advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement after, Nigerians are worried about government fiscal and monetary policies, which they say puts Nigeria at a disadvantaged position. Tinkan Chapter Chairman, African Association of Professional Freight Forwarders and Logistics of Nigeria, AFLON, Godfrey Nwosu, fought government policy inconsistency as a major challenge.
The government who are thinking should be busy is the government who is introducing policy, let's say minute after minute, both monetary and fiscal policy without consideration. This government is not even taking ACTFA into consideration in the rolling out of most of the policies. Most of the policies of government today are inimical, are contradictory to ACTFA. Here in our own climb, our government is busy either by increasing what they call it, interest rate, or by increasing exchange rate. Today, I read in the news, or I heard in the news that the borrowing rate interest has been increased. How decent does that sound? In an environment, in a country where all neighboring countries are already prepared for a takeoff. Some of them have even moved ahead. They are busy. It's either the CBN governor is busy running around how to win election, or the directors of the central banks are busy running around how to do one or two things, not thinking.
He also called on the government to review the 41 prohibited items, as these banned items will be passing through the Nigerian borders based on the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
We're talking about Act for Free Trade Agreement. We are banning and blocking 41 items as in the list. And these are items that will be flowing from Nigerian borders or Nigerian port to outside other continents, other countries within the continent or African continent. So now we'll ban some items. And these items we'll ban, we'll have them here, or we produce them here, or we import them here for another transit to neighboring countries. I want to tell you something that will interest you. Most of the spare parts that comes into the Nigerian market are not being consumed here in Nigeria. Drugs, not with arms and ammunition. We are packed with spare parts, loaded, when the borders were shut down, closed. So they didn't find a way to take it across the border where they take it to go and make their sales. Imagine in such a situation, these are the kind of things the Actify encourage. These are the kind of relationship that the Continental Free Trade Zone Area Agreement encourages.
Yes. Now, when we talk about the maritime sector, a name comes to mind, Dr. Boniface Aniebonam, who is the founder of the National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF. Now, he's also the founder of New Nigeria People's Party. Now, in his press conference, of course, he addressed the state of the nation and the maritime sector.
Niger Delta, bring the Otuas, bring the Aroyewun, and all that. Bring them together and ask them what is the problem. And they will all present their issues. A decision will be taken for us to live together as brothers and sisters. I don't think there is any mistake on the part of God to make us a great nation. The amalgamation was done in favor of Nigeria. But why are we going the way we are going? Nwosu is coming in to bring everybody together, and we stop this madness. That is his first assignment. Second assignment is the economy. Once everybody is cohesive, we look at what we eat. You told us to profile our film. Nigeria is in the open. You cannot be talking about economy or reviving the economy or bringing the economy to the stream, and people are not working. The economists understand what it is, the productive nature of human being will form what the economy is talking about. When people are not working, how can you talk about the economy? So we all know that Nigeria is a consumption nation. And so, if our duty is just to be consuming and consuming, then why are we talking about the economy? Therefore, there must be a mandate for him to reverse the trend. And NAGAF is a professional association. And that is why we made all the efforts to come up with Council for Regulation of Freight that will bring about standard, code of ethical practice. That's what we need to do. If anybody thinks that we'll continue to talk about old norms, then it is not proper. And God help us for Nwosu to invite the president of this country, and that's why I want you to play a role, major role. We must move right now to mobilize a minimum of 10 million voters, at least. When we get there, The freight forwarders is going to breathe the air of freedom, because we shall be speaking from inside on what to do with the ports.
Meanwhile, the National President of National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, Gaff, Honorable Tochukwu Ezisi, has stopped all national officers and members of the chapter's executive from issuing press release without prior consultation with the national president. Honorable Ezisi, in a statement made available to journalists, also directed that letters and petitions to heads of government agencies at the port by associations, committees, and functionaries should be routed through the office of the president for vetting before being dispatched to the agencies, associations, or organizations. He warned that any national officers involved in unethical, gross misconduct, anti-association activities, and insubordination to constituted authority would be severely sanctioned. Ezisi appealed to all members of the associations to work together in harmony as a big family and comply with all government regulations. Now, you'll recall that some weeks ago, we reported about some vehicles being seized by Clarion Terminal. All that is in the past now, as Gaff Compliance Committee has taken delivery of 11 of those vehicles. More in this report. The National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, Gaff, has secured the release of 8 out of 11 vehicles seized by Clarion West African Shipping Management since June 2021. Efforts made by the clearing agency to get the vehicles released over a year ago proved abortive until Gaff, through its 100% compliance team, stepped into the matter. Addressing journalists at Clarion Terminal is Bat Okeke, the Chief of Staff to the 100% Compliance Committee, Ibrahim Tanko. He expressed gratitude for a battle fought and won.
But we kept negotiating, and the last push, when they said they were going to give us only 70% waiver, the last push was by Mr. President, Chief Tochukwu Ezisi, who went back to the CAC of Tinkan to impress on him that that wasn't the agreement that we had at the negotiating table. And so the CAC intervened swiftly, and by the next day, we had a 100% waiver. So we did not pay a dime on demurrage as it concerns the release of all those vehicles.
In his reaction, one of the importers of the vehicles, Mr. Chidi Nzewi, expressed gratitude to Gaff for their intervention and called on all other freight forwarders in the industry who may have genuine cases to approach Gaff for mediation.
The lesson I will bring out from this situation is if you know you are in your right and you have not done anything wrong, that you should not succumb to pressure, that you should look for the appropriate authority or the appropriate body to lay your complaint to. And I also want to let the general public know, especially those that are in the maritime industry, to know that Gaff is always there for everybody. Whatever your complaint is, as far as it's genuine, that Gaff is reliable and they can take care of whatsoever issues that arises, as far as the fault is not yours.
All right, I mean, there have been lots of talks of corruption, but let's take the gist to another level. Now, let's look at the Maritime Police and their duties in the port. There have been lots of complaints about extortion carried out by Maritime Police. So joining me to talk about this right now is the president, the Patriots Anti-Corruption Initiative, TPASI. Stephen Ibeh joins me at this time. Thank you so much for your time on the program, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, now let's look at anti-corruption. I mean, on the program, earlier we talked about, I mean, if you look at what the Comtoa people are fighting, extortion, they get beaten on the road, and then, you know, several extortion points in the port. Now, as if this is not enough, freight forwarders, shippers are now complaining about after their cargo has been cleared from the port. Now, so we have the customs FOU and some other department that picks this cargo. As if it's not enough, we now have police, maritime police, who sometimes are involved in examination. You know, sometimes have a way of delaying this cargo. I mean, why is all of this happening?
My brother, you know the answer to your question. The answer to that is corruption. all these things are being caused by corruption. We have corrupt officers because unlike customs, there is Customs and Excise Management Act, SEMA. This is the customs law. By right, customs suppose not, after examining container from the port, there's a deputy controller in the terminal. The junior officer examined the containers, they gave him the report. Then after giving the report to the assistant controller of customs, assistant controller of customs will release. After releasing the cargo, the deputy controller, the overseer of the terminal, will certify it by stamping and putting his signature before going to the gate. And you go to the gate, there's still a deputy controller there, satisfying, because they are gathering all the information about the examination and the way the whole clearing process is done. They satisfy it before the cargo leaves the port. And when the container cargo leaves the port, just immediately after leaving a proper premier port, you go to Leventis, not up to how many kilometers. Leventis just from here to there.
Just like 2 kilometers or less.
Just less than 2 kilometers, you see FOU. And we are talking about FOU, they create a CG strike force. When we are talking about CG strike force, they introduced the one they call SWAT that was causing problems sometime. They now abandon SWAT again and bring in a custom police. All these things are being done by what? Corruption. It doesn't happen before. Cargoes are being cleared all in the port, and custom make the revenue. After all these things, what are we talking about? It's all about generating revenue. And the making sure that arms and ammunition does not come. Arms and ammunition does not come inside the port, Nigeria through the port. They come in through the border.
At International Supply Chain Systems Limited, ISCS, we provide our clients with customized import-export services to meet their unique needs.
We understand that timeliness is key to saving you from demurrage.
Our services include cargo clearing and consolidation shipping, cargo warehousing and storage, general import and consultancy.
That's why we have a team of professionals to assist you with proper paperwork for efficient customs clearing.
Come talk to us at 7A Bikunle Akintoye Street, Apapa, Lagos. You can call us on 081 622 71120, 081 276 33510, or you can send us an email info@iscsltd.com or visit our website www.iscsltd.com. ISCS, more than logistics.
Let's take away the stress of worrying about clearing documentation of you.
Our innovative technology provides real-time visibility of your cargo any time of the day.
Here at Emerald Agencies Nigeria Limited, we deliver your cargo fast, in good condition, at a very competitive rate anywhere in the world.
You have heard it all. At Emerald Agencies Limited, we offer the best of customs services, freight forwarding and logistics, warehousing, packaging, palletization service, consultation on import and export. Reach out to us today. Emerald Agencies Limited, 2nd floor of Fimo House, Plot 6, Oshodi Expressway, Sunrise Bus Stop, Apapa, Lagos. Or you can call us on 091 616 78740 or send us an email on emeraldagencies@gmail.com. Emerald Agencies, your one-stop shop from clearance to delivery.
Talking about corruption, don't you think you're also guilty for giving them the money?
Thank you very much. I like this question because this is always my argument. Because most of them go to hide under the umbrella of that you that give them the money, you also guilty. But I want to ask you a question. When somebody is being kidnapped and that person is being held to ransom, has to pay 100 million naira ransom or his life, what do you expect him to do?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Huh?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, somebody, yes. I don't know where you're going, but yes, somebody is being held, either 100 million naira or you are dead. Will you keep 100 million naira and choose to die.
Of course, I'll pay the 100 million.
You pay 100 million?
Yes.
That is exactly the same thing when you keep my container in the port to be incurring demurrage. If I cannot pay demurrage of that container, for that container to come out of the port, and that is where I'm feeding my children, I will develop high BP and maybe die in the process. So when you are being held at ransom, keeping my container in the terminal, refuse the AP Mola and shipping company to release it, and I come and say it's 100,000 naira I will give you, you will allow me to go. I wouldn't like to go and keep my container inside the port to come and start making trouble. Now why do you keep my container here? You are not supposed to do this as Maritime Police. Well, the importer will collect his document from you and give another agent and go and pay the money and clear his cargo. It do happen in people like us at our level. When we want to get a demand for our right, then the importer will say that this man is not serious. Yeah. He will collect the document from you and give the people that are ready to give the money. So when it's like that, I have nothing to do than to give the money and take my container out. Then people like, what I used to do is that those money I give, I make sure I have record of it.
Okay.
Because time is coming. I can't keep the container inside the port and go and start making trouble. While the container is in the port incurring demurrage. I have to give whatever I will, just like also they hide under that umbrella to say that if you give, you are this, you that. When you know that you hold me on the ground, and then the narration of this, I narrate it, yes, this is bribe to police. As I'm talking to you now, if police want to get to know which date and the containers that they do, I have a letter of records to the bribes given to them. So when the time comes, we may be in court. Let us go to the court of law and know the court of law that will say that collecting bribe is now legalized in Nigeria.
Okay.
I know that with this, I think we can get to the end of the matter.
Of course. I think it's a good way to go, and also it's a good place to end the program today. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We hope that in a very short time, governments are watching, and I'm sure that action would be taken, and gradually our ports will be free of some of this bottleneck that we experience right now. Several cries from stakeholders for government to really wade into the corruption allegation in the maritime sector, from the transport operators that's talking about Contour, and some other port users who have alleged lots of corruption, especially from government agencies. We hope that very soon this will be a thing of the past. With that, it's a wrap on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen. You can also go to our YouTube channel. It's Nigerian Maritime TV. Now, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Brownson. Unwana. Until we meet again, please stay safe.